Ghosts and childbirth. An anthropological perspective throughout history, across many cultures. Childbirth has been seen as one of the most powerful and dangerous moments in a human life. It is a time when a woman's body becomes a threshold between life and death, creation and dissolution. When we look closely, we find that stories about women who die in childbirth, who become ghosts or restless spirits, are nearly universal. They tell us a great deal about human societies, our fears, and the ways we try to understand loss. In India, one of the most vivid examples is the legend of the churl. The churl is described as a woman who dies during childbirth or sometimes during menstruation, which in traditional belief systems are times when a woman's body is thought to be particularly vulnerable, even polluted. If she dies in these conditions, her spirit is said to become twisted with anger, grief, and unfinished longing. She is often portrayed as a woman in white, appearing beautiful from the front, but with her feet turned backward as the unmistakable sign that she no longer belongs to the world of the living. The churl wanders near graveyards, crossroads, or deserted fields. In some stories, she approaches men alone at night, smiling sweetly, calling them to her side. But when they follow her, she drains their vitality, leaving them aged overnight. In other tales, she returns to her home, haunting the family that mistreated her, punishing the husband or in-laws who failed in their duties. Anthropologists describe this as an expression of what we call liminality, the in-between state. Birth itself is liminal. A woman in childbirth is between two identities. She is no longer just herself. She is becoming a mother. And death is the most profound threshold of all. When the two overlapped in childbirth, it creates an unbearable tension. The woman has died before her transformation into a complete mother is fulfilled. And so her soul is seen as unfinished, restless, unable to move on. This idea is not limited to India. In Malaysia, there is the story of the Pontianak, a ghostly woman who dies in childbirth and returns as a vengeful spirit. The Pontianak is described as a beautiful figure in white, with long black hair covering her face. She is sometimes heard wailing near banana trees or dark corners. Like the churl, she is both pitied and feared, a tragic figure whose suffering makes her dangerous. When we look at these stories side by side, an anthropologist sees a pattern. Many cultures associate maternal death with supernatural consequences. One reason is the historical reality before modern medicine. Childbirth was incredibly risky. It was a leading cause of death for women. When a young, healthy woman died giving life, people struggled to accept it as natural. Instead, communities created stories that made sense of the loss. The ghost became a symbol for unresolved grief and guilt. These stories also serve as a form of social control and moral instruction. In many versions of the churl legend, it is emphasized that the woman died because she was neglected, mistreated, or shamed. Her return as a vengeful spirit is a warning. It teaches families to care for pregnant women, to show compassion and respect, and to fulfill their responsibilities. The fear of her haunting becomes a way to reinforce social norms. There is also an important gendered dimension to these beliefs. The female body is seen as both sacred and dangerous. In Hinduism, goddesses like Kali embody this duality, nurturing and destructive, motherly and fierce. The churl can be understood as a distorted reflection of the divine feminine, a woman whose power has turned into something uncontained because of the way she died. Her story reminds us that societies often project their anxieties about female sexuality and reproduction onto supernatural figures. Across the world, similar beliefs appear. In Japan, there is the figure of the Yubum, a ghost mother who dies in childbirth and returns to care for her baby. Unlike the churl, the Yubum is not vengeful but sad, appearing to deliver food or ask passersby to hold her child. In Europe, legends of the White Ladies sometimes include women who died while giving birth or because of lost love, doomed to wander castles or forests. Each culture frames the story differently, but the theme is strikingly consistent. A woman caught between worlds because of an untimely, deeply meaningful death. Anthropologists also look at the rituals communities use to manage these fears. In parts of India, when a woman dies in childbirth, she may be buried facing down or with heavy stones placed over the grave to keep her spirit from rising. Iron objects may be placed near doors and windows, as iron is believed to repel restless ghosts. In Malaysia, people avoid planting certain trees near the home to keep Pontianak away. These practices are not merely superstition. They are social responses to trauma, grief, and the need for control in the face of unpredictable loss. What is particularly fascinating is how these stories endure even in modern times. Despite advances in medical care and changing social roles, the figure of the ghost mother still resonates. Perhaps it is because she represents something larger than any single culture: the fear of losing life while giving life, the sorrow of unfinished transformation, and the idea that love and pain are inseparable. When we listen to the tale of the churl or the Pontianak, we are not only hearing ghost stories, we are hearing echoes of ancient anxieties and the collective struggle to make meaning from tragedy. From an anthropological perspective, these legends are not simply about fear. They are about memory, morality, and the ways communities negotiate the mysteries of birth and death. So the next time you hear a story about a woman in white waiting by the roadside or crying near the trees, remember that behind the eerie details lies a much deeper human question. How do we honor those who die in the most vulnerable moment of their lives? And how do we carry their stories forward, so they are not only ghosts, but reminders of our shared responsibility and compassion? Press like and subscribe.